All right, today we're going to add in our exponents section. Now that we understand what an exponent is, we're going to add in those into our order of operations problems. So if you'll go to your second page and find the exponents section, you can see that I have an exponent and some subtraction. So we are going to show how we would use our GEMA tower to solve this problem. So because I have multiple operations, I'm going to draw my GEMA tower. 4 sections, GEMA. Remember, G stands for grouping, E is exponent, M is multiplicative, and A is additive. Remember, sometimes for multiplicative, we're going to need integer man, and sometimes for additive, we may need our integer table if there are negatives in our problem. All right, I'm going to go through and evaluate my problem really quickly, and I'm going to look, are there any groupings in my problem? Well, no. So I'm going to go ahead and mark out my groupings, my G. I don't have any parentheses or brackets. And then I look, and I do have an exponent, so I'm going to go ahead and start there. And I find, and again, we're moving left to right, and I can see, ooh, there's an exponent. And so what we're going to do is we're going to write out below it what it represents. So before we solve, we're going to write underneath it what is 4 to the third power. So that would be 4 times 4 times 4. So I can remind myself that this is not just basically 4 times 3. This is not basic multiplication. So 4 to the third power is saying take the 4 and multiply it together 3 different times. So again, I take the large number, the base number, and I use the exponent to see how many pieces I take, how many times I write it. All right, and then I'm going to solve. So I'm going to box it. And I'm going to solve it. So 4 times 4 is 16, and 16 times 4 is 64. And then I've solved it, and then I can rewrite the rest of my problem. So what was outside? Minus 70. All right, and I'm all done with my exponent section, and I'm ready to move on to multiplicative. So I look and I say, do I have any multiplicative relationships? No, no multiplying, no dividing. So I'll mark off multiplicative and move on to additive. And I'll ask myself, do I have any additive relationships? Yes. We have some subtraction, and we have a situation where I cannot subtract 70 from 64. If I have $64, I cannot take away $70. So this is actually an integer problem. So I'm going to draw my integer table. And remember, he's over here to remind me I need to use him when necessary. And I'm going to go ahead and circle. So I'm going to grab my pen, and I'm going to say, okay, 70 is negative, and 64 is positive. So who has more power, team positive or team negative? Well, it looks like team negative is going to win. And because they are on different teams, we will subtract. So I can't take 4 from nothing. Got to subtract there and borrow. 10 minus 4 is 6, and 6 minus 6 is 0. So the answer to this problem will be negative 6. And I'm all done with my additive relationship. And that is exponents in GEMA, or in order of operations. Go practice.